Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirits. Welcome home. This reading today is about getting the guidance you need right now. And I'm also focusing on the season. So, Halloween is coming. Samhain, I've heard so many names. Where I'm from, it's a very old tradition. It goes back to the 15th century. And so I'm always very surprised when people say that this is a recent phenomena and that it's very commercial, that it's all about selling like candy and stuff like that. And it's not about that at all. So to me, this is about connecting with my ancestry, with my ancestors, honoring the ones who made sacrifices to bring life to for the cycle of life to continue. This is also the Celtic New Year. So we're approaching the turning of the wheel, the turning of the wheel of the year, specifically the pagan Celtic Wheel of the Year, and that is connected, of course, with the harvest season and with nature and with agriculture. So there's a lot of aspects to this season that I want to talk to you about during the next readings. So the next set of readings, they're going to be specifically focused on this energy. And I feel personally that it's going to be a bit about a sort of descent into deeper layers of our psyche. And it feels to me like we're preparing for a special moment when time will kind of be suspended. And it is an opportunity to revise, to revisit. And it's also an opportunity to maybe find hidden treasure and things that are maybe a bit suppressed or in darker spots, or at least shadier spots, not in a negative sense, but in a sense that maybe things are a bit murky or undefined in specific areas of our life. And that might be a reflection of our own inner state and our own mindset and our psyche, of course, our subconscious and our feelings. So it's going to be a deep dive, and I'm very, very happy. I love this season. So let's start with pile number 1. We have Capricorn, Virgo, Leo, and Taurus. And your card is Taum the Poet. For pile number 2, we have Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Scorpio. And your card is She of the Cruach. Okay. For pile number 3, we have Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Aquarius. Your card is Luminous Doom. Okay. I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the card, the zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1. So, the guidance you need right now. The first card is Taum the Poet. And it can mean so many things. I will need the rest of the cards to frame this properly. I feel like maybe there's something about the words that you use specifically, because this is about poetry. So it's about expressing complexity and finding the right words to express something, okay? And Taum the Poet is also about getting out of a routine and bringing some romance and magic to a situation or a relationship. Sorry. So it's about creativity. So let's start with the Kipper, mystical Kipper, the guidance you need right now. Okay. What is the guidance that pile number 1 needs right now? Okay, very simple, very assertive. Okay. Military person. Interesting. Was the feeling of the cards that I got from the cards? House. And court. Okay. Maybe I'll try this way. No, it's okay. It's fine. Like that. Okay. We have the dual 21st moon mansion, Gaia, and the musician. Okay, so musician and Taum, the poet. Interesting. Very similar vibes there. And then we have the last quarter moon decreasing in air, fall stage, and the keyword is challenge. Okay, let's see if we can fit all the cards. Okay, maybe if I switch these around. Just give me a moment. Sorry for that. Feels like it's going to fit. Yeah, that's better. Okay. The duel and challenge. Interesting. What more do we have for pile number 1? Okay. Seems like I just have to speak. I just have to say what I want and things happen. So there's something about you expressing what you want or using the right words, like the magic words. Choosing the magic words. It's almost like in the military, you have certain keywords that they're like magic. They can make like a whole crowd move if you just say the order, like march or at ease, something like that, like the magic word. Using the magic words. Mars in Pisces with escape. Mercury in Pisces with inspiration. Sun in Aquarius with idealism. Saturn in Libra with devotion. Jupiter in Gemini with bluff. There's a lot of cards today. Mars in Taurus with defense. And Jupiter in Scorpio with manipulation. I feel like this reading is trying to warn you about something. And it seems like you're facing some kind of challenge with a person or a group of people. It feels like a specific person. And it's like they won't budge, like they have their own way of doing things and they're not changing. And the only way that you're going to change the situation is through a bit of hardship, actually. But I feel like the advice here is that there's another way. And the other way is for you to use the magic words. It feels like this bluff and manipulation is actually you working, doing some kind of magical operation on the situation and the person, on the interaction, that helps you defend something important to you, that helps you also not give in totally, so not be defeated. So it also helps with your creativity. It's like there's a creative solution out of something, and that you're like you're going towards this situation, facing it in a very upfront manner. Like, it is what it is, very simple, but it's not that simple. What I'm hearing is it's not that simple. There's a lot of poetry, there's a lot of magic that can be used in your favor, and it's not a negative way of doing things, because it's about poetry and romance. It's not about lying, it's not about cheating, it's not about being unfair. With court here, it's actually about rebalancing this situation, because I feel like there's this feeling of being attacked, or of having to defend something, of having to face a person who isn't accepting a part of you or a part of the situation that's really important to you, that means a lot. Okay. So we have 3 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. So it's that authenticity and inauthenticity that needs to be balanced. There needs to be some sort of accountability here. Eight of Pentacles and 5 of Wands. I'm hearing something like you need to work your magic. You need to be at the forefront of this. What I feel like is that this situation has the potential to overpower you. And that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. You should be taking the lead. And there's something about you going in using a more flowy energy, like romance, like creativity, like a soft power. It's kind of like soft power. Now I'm remembering, of course, Bruce Lee. I always talk about him when I remember the Be Like Water, my friend, and it's actually very, very wise. I love that interview. So be like water and use feelings and ideas and the emotional power of the ideas. So consider the power of emotion and work through that. Use that to your advantage. Don't be afraid to dive into your own emotions and express your magic. I'm hearing something about also your words. So the power of the words, the way you write, what you write, the words that you use. It's not about more. It's just about the presence and the poignancy, the accuracy of the words. It's really about that, and the consistency of the communication, maybe. It's like emitting a signal. At this point, you're going to have to look at it more like music and more like poetry, and more of the other senses, more of the senses really, and less of the mind. Death card, Judgment, Four of Cups, Seven of Cups, Nine of Cups. Wow. So I'm also getting this one. Let's see. 10 of Pentacles. So there you go. So interesting, because it's actually, you're not seeing it right now. It's in the unseen. How are you going to see this? How are you going to consider something that you're not seeing? Because maybe you're not seeing it about yourself. Maybe you don't see yourself as a poet or as a very romantic person. Maybe you want to be more grounded and down to earth. If that's your case, it feels like you get to ground things and you get to be down to earth, specifically because you connect with someone on an emotional level. That's going to create something practical, tangible, and also a lot of emotional abundance, and also the reciprocity. And also, if you're having some kind of creative block, the moments of boredom and focusing on your needs, specifically your emotional needs, is the thing that's going to lead you to a chance to enjoy abundance. And it's also interesting that the Nine of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles also have an interesting concept in common, and that is the concept of luxury. So maybe you think that poetry and romance are a luxury, or that they're kind of lofty ideals, or that they are things that you enjoy only in certain specific moments in life. Like, the military person has a very strict schedule, and they have the moments of rest are very well defined. So maybe you're not giving yourself a lot of time to be bored. Maybe you're being too strict. And it's interesting that that strictness comes from an awareness that there is specificity in things. So maybe that magic word or that sentence that opens the door is actually a part of that intelligence that comes from the precision, the mind that is precise. But this is also about you allowing yourself to be bored. Maybe change something in your schedule so that you have that luxury. And that luxury opens the door to real luxury. And what I mean by this is that 10 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups is about connecting to people who are very influential, who can help you create a lot of abundance, material abundance even in your life, also spiritual, of course. I get that you're also, by being bored and focusing on your emotional needs, you're also going to connect to spirit or to the divine. You need to allow time for that in your daily life. It seems like that's the path to resolve this opposition, this duel, this conflict maybe. It doesn't feel like an open conflict, but it's like it should be. So what I feel like at the moment is that there's more of this tension that has an underlying problem, and that you will access it by being bored. You will know the key, that sentence, that magic phrase, that abracadabra, is going to come to you in a moment of boredom, of okay, I'll stop what I'm doing, like I have 2 hours or whatever. I'll give myself a bit of time to just do nothing. And doing nothing is going to open doors of perception for you, and it's going to empower you to be more upfront about something, but in a poetic way. So because I feel like you think that you're going to face this problem head on, and I'm saying that once it happens, and this is the warning of this reading, is that once it happens, you shouldn't face it head on. You should be poetic. You should have a romantic mindset. You should see the poetry, the irony, the comedy, the tragedy. You should see those layers of the story that is unfolding before you, so that you're not caught in the drama, or that you're not faced with too much opposition. So it might feel like the other person really needs some sort of catharsis, and that if you face the issue head on with that person, they will be defensive, and they will shut down, or they will just give up, or it's not going to be fruitful, and it's not going to be harmonious. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. So what is your guidance right now? For right now, you have She of the Cruach, and She of the Cruach is like a womb, exactly like a womb, the feeling and the spiritual womb. So it is a moment of nourishment, of receptivity, and it's also about an unconditional love, unconditional giving and receiving. So the flow of love in your life, how you are receiving love. Okay, so the guidance you need right now. Okay, that's too much. Wow. Wow. A lot of cards today. Let's see. What is your guidance today? What is the guidance you need right now? Okay. So you have pleasant letter, unexpected money, false person. That movement of this card was really funny. False person. Court person. I also love the frame. Each frame is so unique and interesting, but there are some frames that repeat themselves in these two. False person and court person. Maybe they're the same person. Pleasant letter and unexpected money. Okay. So you have Athena and Ishtar. Okay. So this is the waxing crescent moon, increasing in Earth, the sprout stage, and the keyword is investment. And also the waxing crescent moon, increasing in water, with the sprout stage again, and its keyword is instinct. Interesting. So it's the same moon phase, so probably something that's happening or going to happen in the next waxing crescent moon. So I'll have to confirm, but I think that when I'm doing this reading, I'm approaching the new moon. So it's pretty close to when I'm doing the reading. But whenever you're watching this, this is the next waxing crescent moon. Okay. Okay, a lot of cards once again. So I just checked, and yes, so the new moon is tomorrow. So it's very, very close. Waxing crescent. We have Jupiter in Cancer. Saturn in Taurus. Jupiter in Aquarius with innovation. Sorry, I didn't say the keyword is ostentation. Ostentation and innovation. Mars in Taurus with defense. Mercury in Virgo with caution. Saturn in Pisces with loss. And finally, you have the moon in Libra with companionship. Okay. Now I'm getting different things. It can be a person. This guidance here can be about a person, but not necessarily. It can be just about something shady. So this is mainly about you getting help or resources to aid in a project, an idea, something that you're doing, an investment, something that you are investing in. But it feels like someone says they're going to help you, but they're not going to help you, or they're just not very helpful. And it seems like you're getting a lot of opportunities. This is not your only opportunity. So maybe seeing how things flow from one thing to another, and maybe not fixating too much on one solution. It feels to me like that's your guidance, like the overview of this reading would be to not focus on one specific solution, because it might be a mix of many solutions and you're getting help. You're getting the help you need. If you follow your gut feeling and you keep flowing, you keep the energy flowing, you will go from one thing to the next, and one specific person to the next. And once you realize, once you realize something, yeah, we'll get there. But there's someone here is not very helpful. Let's see how does this process look like, and what is useful for you? What is this thing that you're growing? Because it feels like you're growing something, you're nourishing something in your creative womb, and it's growing, you're investing in it. You also need ideas, but you don't need interference. So you need to be cautious with the connections that you bring. And some of those might need to fall. You might need to break away, to break up. You need help, but you don't need the busybody or you don't need someone who doesn't understand what you're doing. You have the Woodward, the Strength card in this deck, the Journey, Death card, Six of Bows with Abundance, and Two of Vessels with Attraction, or Two of Cups. Yes, so you need to meet someone specific. You need to meet someone specific. So I think that you will realize that you need to meet someone specific because you're talking to people and you're slowly gathering information that makes you realize that, okay, I need to talk to this person. It's exactly this person. But is this person the false person? I don't think so. Three of Stones with creativity. So once again, this is a lot about your ideas, your mind, your ideas, your concepts, and the flow. The Stag. Justice card. The Green Woman. Your ideas, your creativity, your womb. The Cauldron also. And then you have Shilanagig here. So the birth of your concept, your idea, your creation. And the Page of Stones with links. Also have this one. The Eight of Bows, Hearthfire. So to me, this is telling me that it's really simple reading today, which is refreshing because sometimes it's really hard to unpack all the information, but it seems so just simple, just very direct. Keep talking to people. Keep talking to different types of people. Keep the message alive, the idea alive. Don't give up on your idea and continue to have that fresh approach, because eventually you will find the right person. So, do we have more information about this person? Who is the right person? Well, first of all, we'll see who is this false person and why. Why are they concocting something that's shady? And then we go to the right person. Okay. Who is the false person? Six of Stones. Exploitation. It's possibly someone who sees you as a resource. They see you as a source of something for them. They might want to exploit you. And the Knight of Bows with Fox. So Fox, they're very cunning. They're very smart in the way they do things. They're very proactive. It seems like they have a lot of energy and they're very dynamic. They can seem attractive in that regard. Five of Bows with empowerment. So it's not that they are exactly lying, but it feels like there's a shady part to what they do, and that shady part is the need to exploit and the need to have the resources for their own benefit. It's like they suck the resources dry around them, and they're they seem like they're interesting and dynamic, but in reality they have, it's like they're playing their own game. It's like you sit on a table and you bring your cards and you think you're playing cards, and that person is holding the cards, but they're actually playing chess. They're not playing that game. They say they play that game, but that's not the game that they're playing actually. They seem like they're very competitive also with the Five of Bows. They're very competitive. They're just competing in a different league or in a different sport. That's what's misleading here. And maybe it's bothering you. It's annoying you that you're not getting the full story, the full picture. Because you want to keep investing in this, and you need the right people around you. So, who is the right person? Two of Stones with challenge. Seven of Stones with healing. And Three of Arrows with jealousy. So it feels like the right person can have two characteristics. So you have met this person already, but maybe it wasn't a very pleasant meeting, or it was kind of ambiguous, and there's something that needs to be revealed or healed between you, and that can be a bit painful because it's a realization, it's a confrontation with something. There's also some kind of admission of loss here. And I don't know if it's on your part or on the other side, maybe both. It's also possible that this person is someone who has lost a lot, and they have a lot of wisdom because of that. They know how to do things because they know how bad things can be, and they have their own pain points that they're healing from. It can be someone who is in the process of healing, and they're just the right person for that thing that you want to do, but they have their own, healing going on. And how are you going to get to the point where you realize that this is the right person? What leads you there? The Guardian. And Five of Stones with endurance. Wow, the Great Bear. So, to me, it seems like it's something that comes from the outside. So it's a kind of a validation that comes from, I don't know, maybe court, maybe society, some kind of turning of the wheel of karma, let's say, that shows you an aspect of this person that you might have considered obnoxious, undignified, fearful. Maybe you think that this person is afraid, or you are afraid. They trigger some kind of fear. And also, you didn't think that this person had what it takes. You didn't think that this person had the resources, that they had the right frame of mind So it's going to be this moment that you're going to judge this person in a very different way from what has happened up until now. I don't think you would consider this person at all if this change didn't happen. And it feels like it's a collective change. So it's how this person positioned themselves in relation to a collective dimension, an institution, some kind of legal matter, society. Maybe they were attacked by society and you thought that people were right. Like if there's smoke, right, there's a fire. Maybe you thought that this person was corrupt or that they were unfair. I don't know. There was some kind of judgment, and now you're going to see this person in a completely different light. So this is a very, very simple reading of guidance that relates to you finding the right person. Because your search, your project, the thing that you're nourishing in your creative womb needs a special person. And although you have a lot, I feel like you have a lot of options. And if you don't feel like that, I would invite you to consider that maybe you have more options than you think. But you have to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff. And in that trimming process and filtering process, you are going to discover new people. And I feel like you're going to be drawn back to the beginning, to someone who you thought wasn't right at all, someone who was challenging for you, who you thought was very wrong for the situation, not the right person at all. And I feel like they're going to do something, they're going to take a stand about something collective, or in the collective you're going to see a movement that is going to make you see this person in a completely different light. And that's your own healing process too, because there's something quite remarkable about that new judgment that you access. And it's kind of an epiphany. It is the transformation that you wanted. It's like finding a treasure. And also finding that that treasure was very close all along, and it feels like this person can come from the past. They can also be an ancestor. Maybe someone from your family holds the information. That's quite possible. Someone from your family that you judged in a very harsh manner, or that you saw society judge them in a very harsh manner, and you saw them suffer so much. And now something about them is going to be vindicated, maybe. And that whole experience is going to have a big impact in you. And it's going to also allow you to connect with that experience and maybe memories, maybe a wealth of information. Maybe you'll discover a lot of books or memories about that person that's going to enlighten. It's going to enlighten you. It's going to illuminate whatever you want to nourish. So yeah, this is all about you finding the right people to share that creativity, that abundance, that project that you have. It's like you're creating the earth, the place of meeting, you have the fruits and all the vegetables and all the abundance ready for the people. You have the place that's very cozy. You want to receive this energy. You're preparing for that. And it's coming from someone who has these characteristics. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3, your card is the Luminous Doom. So the guidance you need right now has something to do with some kind of self-destructive behavior, either on your part or of someone who is around you in your vicinity. So it is about moments of sadness, maybe self-pity, how you let your feelings drag you down further, and how you can use those situations to revert that energy, to change the mood completely. And there's something quite comical about his face. Whenever I see his face, he's so funny, so sweet, he's such a tender expression, and it's a bit childlike. So there is an aspect of immaturity here also. Maybe someone or something who is really pulling on your heartstrings and kind of possibly bringing you down a bit. So let's see, what advice, what guidance do you have regarding some situation? Okay, that's it. So what is the guidance you need right now? What is the guidance for pile number 3? Okay, so we have military person and expectation. Okay. We have the 6th moon mansion with the bridge. The 15th moon mansion with the branch. And the 19th moon mansion with 2 paths. Okay. Full moon in fire, flower stage, and the keyword is recognition. And also the 1st quarter moon increasing in fire, leaf stage with competitiveness. Okay. So, wow, this is too much. Okay. What do we have for pile number 3? Okay. Jupiter in Aquarius with innovation. Saturn in Taurus with ostentation. Mercury in Virgo with caution. And Mars in Pisces with escape. Okay. So again, it seems like it's something about a connection. And the path that you're taking together. So either you stop taking that path together, or you change the path. you choose another path. But I don't know if that person is going to want to follow you there. It seems like there's kind of there's something interfering with the connection, and I'm not sure what it is, because it seems like it's an idea, or if it's maybe it's just a choice of lifestyle, maybe a choice of lifestyle. It's as if one person wants to dive in and the other person wants to flee. They want to escape. And it seems like it's a connection that was made in a moment of a lot of emotional intensity. So it seemed like it's very passionate, okay? So I'm not sure if it's about you meeting someone again or rekindling something together, your paths meeting, or if it's choosing to part ways, or just understanding that you're on different paths. And I also see that one person feels like they want to escape and the other wants to show off or accept the situation. There might be more than one person involved. Usually I don't get this type of reading. This is very unusual. There might be another person here. In the background, waiting. It's another person waiting. So maybe there's another person waiting for you. Waiting for you. And they're not sure if you're going to come, or this is very, very, like a very complicated relationships. So we have the Miser, Four of Pentacles, stuck in the past, Five of Cups, and the burden with the Six of Swords. So someone is carrying a weight with them, and it's something about a past situation. Okay, what is this weight about? The Master. It seems like it's something spiritual in nature. It's like carrying the wisdom. So maybe in this situation, one person is older than the other, or than the others. Transformation, Death card, and Beyond Illusion. Judgment. Death and Judgment. Wow. I don't know. This seems like a very, very powerful transformation in your life that's going to happen because of another person that's a part of it and another one that's in the background. Wow. 10 of Cups with harmony. 3 of Swords with isolation. And the 4 of Swords with delay or postponement. So it feels like someone who can achieve a great detachment from their emotions, a great mastery. They have some sort of presence here. I'm not sure if it's you yet. So what is the advice here? The Source, Ace of Wands, 2 of Cups, kindredness. I always forget the translation on this. Affability. Is it even a word? I don't know. Solitude. The Hermit. There's one more here. Let's see. Wow. This is the Sun card with innocence. Innocence, mastery. The Hermit. Very wise energy here. A very, very wise person. There's a very wise person in your life that I feel is going to help you in a transformation. They're going to help you transform a lot of sadness into connection. Okay, so I had to go and check the translation for this, and it's friendliness. And suddenly I had this epiphany or illumination about this reading that the person that's in the background that's waiting seems to be on the other side of the veil. So to me, this reading is telling you that you're being led, your path is leading you to a situation that is going to be witnessed by someone who is on the other side of the veil. And it's like you have this energetic fingerprint that is instantly recognizable and that is going to help you access. It's like the biometrics when we have that fingerprint reader or the eye reader to get into a secret or a specific restricted access part of a building. It's a bit like that, but with spiritual energy, spiritual knowledge and wisdom. Because it feels like you're going to have access to something that has been with you all along the way. These two, they're walking together. They're on their own path, or they're walking side by side, but their paths might have split, or there might be the veil between them. So in a way, this says to me that you're focused on the practical aspects of life, that you're probably focusing more on the day-to-day life, and that you are not really having so much time to address this connection, or to realize this connection, to work with this connection. But it's there, and the guidance that you need right now is about you knowing that this person is with you every step of the way and that you're not alone. That there's a bridge between these two worlds, that there's a connection between this world and the other world and the otherworldly. And I also feel like this person has a message for you, a specific message for you about what is happening in your life, or specifically what is happening in a relationship in your life that seems to elicit a lot of strong feelings. There's a lot of passion there, but there's also something in between. There's also something in between. Almost like you're from different cultures, or there's some kind of gap that needs to be bridged here. Maybe you're from different cultures or you're from different backgrounds. There's some sort of a difference there. And it can become a source of disagreement or distance or sadness, loss, of grief. And I feel like this ancestor or this guardian angel, this energy that's on the other side guiding you, this master also, wants you to know that you need to have more confidence. You need to have more confidence. It's like you're expected to have that confidence. You're expected to have that appearance also, to show it off. Show off. That's what they're saying, like show off. Don't be afraid to show off, to have self-esteem, to raise yourself. Maybe that's also, so how you present yourself is going to have to be, you have to have more self-esteem so that the relationship works, because those differences are a source of insecurity. It's as if you're fusing your self-esteem with the other person's self-esteem, and that is going to lead you astray or to separation or to a bad situation, to sadness. You see these two, they're so stuck in their emotional, I would say, stagnation. It's like things don't change. Things will change if you have self-esteem, and if you present yourself with confidence, and if you show on the outside how you feel on the inside, and that you don't depend on this other person's confidence and self-esteem to validate your own. But I wanted to ask a question. So it's like this person is watching you from the other side, and they're leading the way, they're guiding you, and they want you to do something specific, or they want you to see something specific. A sort of playfulness, a joyful, relaxed way of being, of existing. But maybe there's something more, something else. Let's see. So maybe first of all, who is this person? The dream. Six of Cups. It feels to me like it's someone from your past. So it's someone who sees you in a very good light, someone with whom you shared moments with. You have memories with this person. And maybe they are on the other side of the veil now, watching you. So what do they want you to see? Eight of Cups. Letting go. And Nine of Cups. Wow. So it seems like they want you to progress. From the 8 to the 9, that's a progression. So they want you to progress. They want you to move forward. That's what they want. And they want you to enjoy life more. And with ostentation here, I am tempted to believe that they want you to enjoy also the good things in life, the pleasures, the small pleasures of life, a good meal, a good drink, something that gives you sensorial pleasure like fine clothing, fine things. They want you to enjoy the good things. And I think that they want you to let go, to let your tears. So remember, if you cry, if you feel the need to cry, let your tears be dissolved and transformed by the earth. Let them dissolve in the collective sadness, and you don't need to carry that burden alone. You can share that burden. You can let it dissolve in the collective. It doesn't need to be directed. So if you have any sadness and you need to talk to someone, or you need to cry it out, you need to say what you need to say, you don't need to direct it at a specific thing. It can be, it seems like it's better transformed and transmuted if it dissolves in a wider pond, let's say. I always, when I think of sad things and sadness in general, grief, I'm always reminded of this. It's a tale. It's kind of a metaphor that I believe I heard it from a Tibetan monk. I am not sure. I will try to find the origin of this. And he was saying that if you put salt in a glass of water and you drink it, it's very unpleasant to drink if it's that concentrated. But if you put salt in a lake and then you try to drink that water, you won't feel the salt. So that metaphor taught me that if you realize that you're not alone in feeling that sadness, that it's a part of the collective, it's something that's a part of life in general, and it's not a unique thing, it's not specifically for you. You are not the one to carry that burden. So you can share that burden with almost the whole of humanity, because most people will have a moment in their life when they feel exactly like you're feeling. Well, not exactly, but very, very close. And we are all instances in this collective experience. We're iterations in this collective experience. And there's a lot in common from one person to the other, especially when we're talking about these kinds of realities. So something like sadness. Who can avoid sadness? It's very, very hard for someone to avoid one sad moment, at least one sad moment in life. And if you have this, if you concentrate that sadness too much on yourself, it's going to bring you down. It's going to destroy your self-esteem. It's going to destroy your self-worth, your sense of self even. But even if you understand that that sadness is a collective experience and that you can share that, you can let it dissolve. I would like to explain in a more pragmatic way how you can do that. But there are many techniques that help you do that. Specifically working with the body, I always love those techniques, especially those are the techniques that I personally experience as most effective. So things like tapping or EMDR, eye movement desensitization, reprogramming, and things like that, brain spotting. They work with the brain and with the body. Some kinds of meditation, movement, yeah. There are many, many other things like Reiki. Well, there's a world of healing techniques, but those to me, they work the best when we're talking about very traumatic events, things that make you very, very sad, that really bring you down. I feel like this reading is guiding you to address those and to enjoy, so that you can enjoy. It's like this ancestor, this wise person, this relative, family member, or friend that shared moments with you, with whom you have memories. He wants you, or she wants you, to move on and enjoy life. Enjoy the good things in life. Have fun. They want you to retrieve your innocence, to be like a child again. Because that's the mastery that they had to share with you and that they are now trying to bring into your life. And you are going to be shown something about this. It can be a life lesson, but it feels like it's going to be something pleasant. Although it will touch you, it will be touching. You might cry, but it's so good to let go. It's a great opportunity to let go of grief and sadness. And even if you want to cry and you feel sad, maybe for some of you, not for all of you, consider the silliness of it, because sometimes to me this is also really interesting, because the humor is a great way to dissolve, to put the salt in the big lake. Because if you can laugh about yourself, if you can laugh about the situation, even if it makes you sad, there's something comical about life, even in tragedy. And I don't want to mock anyone and to make fun of anyone. This is just for some of you that might be much more healed by humor and silliness, especially when we're talking about heavy feelings and situations that bring you down. Sometimes the only way to uplift someone is to just laugh and to make fun of the situation, even if it's very serious. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.